Byrne Best is going to have to pull out all the stops because Dotland Hitman is not going to give up the ghost too easily. Five's gone lame at the back as they come around the final bend. It's two Byrne Best. Dotland Hitman's trying to close all the time. It's Byrne Best by half a length. He wins the All England Cup.
Dotland Hitman played his part in one of the races of 2008. He was bred here at Jimmy Fenwick's kennels near Morpeth in Northumberland. Still only in his 30s, Jimmy has been a leading British breeder for a good few years now. But he also holds a trainer's licence and was the youngest ever handler to hold a contract at a track when he joined Sunderland at 19. He's now based at sister track Newcastle and is sending out a regular supply of winners. But Dotland Hitman's form thrilled him just as much.
I was very proud of him. I was, and actually going to the third bend, I thought it was all over. I thought he would run on and win the race. But credit to Byrne Best, fantastic dog, great early pace, and really, if you're looking for a dog that could be favourite for the Derby, he'd be one I'll be looking out for, you know. It was quoted 33-1 last night for the Derby, and he would be my pick. But getting back to Dotland Hitman, it all depends what Andrew has plans for him. You know, Andrew Bell, I've known Andrew for a long, long time, colleague at Newcastle. So whether he goes back to Seamus Graham to run an island, or whether Andrew keeps him here and maybe go for the Scottish Derby this next year. He goes for the Scottish Derby, which the track will suit. And you'll find that with these Australian dogs, you know, when they get near 3-year-old, they hit the peak just after that. So I think with Dotland Hitman, there's maybe a Group 1 just around the corner.
And you also turned Australian when you decided to use Brett Lee.
Yeah, as I say, when I used to buy the Australian Greyhound phone paper. They come every week, and I'd read articles about Brett Lee being the world's fastest greyhound. And I said to myself, I wish one day I could use that dog at stud. And I managed to buy 14 vials of Brett Lee, paid a lot of money for it. But I'm glad I did, you know. And now, as I say, he's turned out to be one of the best sires in the world. And out of that, we produced Geordie Parker, which has been probably the best dog that I've personally bred and the fastest dog I've trained.
Jimmy part owns Geordie Parker with ex-footballer Scott Fraser, and the dog is very special to both of them, so they were proud to see him lead up the runners for this year's All England Cup final, a fitting end of a great career on the track.
He's a special dog to us, and anybody who's ever had anything to do with the dog, he's a real special greyhound. When you put him whatever you do with him, he does everything right. You put him in the boxes, flashes out. And he's just, for me, it was his early pace. You'd be going to the first bend, and the acceleration that he had going on the first two bends, it took your breath away. And as I say, he was a great dog, and as I say, he won 2 Group 1s, and I think he's fantastic, really, the dog.
Of course, he fulfilled all 3 roles: breeder, trainer and owner, of course. That must have been delightful for you in every way.
It was, you know, when you breed them and you rear them, and then you start them off on the track and they qualify and have the first race, and if they go on to win the race, and if they turn out to be as quick as he was, you know, like, he's the fastest ever dog to the bend of Brough Park. He done 28.48 with a 4.48 split, which really, it's really not even believable, but that's what he did, you know. And as I say, he was a good dog for when we were training him, and the best thing we thought at the time, we thought we had a special talent, and Charlie Lister was a very special trainer, and he trains Derby dogs, and he has numerous Derby winners, so we thought we'd send him there to try and fulfil his full potential. Whatever he was going to be, I knew Charlie would get over him.
Geordie Parker's major successes included victory here in the 2006 East Anglian Derby final, another Yarmouth win for Team Lister, and then a return home to Newcastle and the same year's William Hill All England Cup final.
Geordie Parker, though, digging deep. It's going to be head down to the wire, and Geordie Parker gets it.
So one of the best 4-bend dogs of recent years, what does Jimmy think of his prospects at stud?
I expect him, when he gets a level of pups, a batch of pups, you know, he's got, like, when he's been racing, when he's been off, he's made bits in between. So once he gets a level of bitches, of quality bitches, I would expect him to be a top 10 sire, and I would love to think he'd be a number 1 sire.
We've already got some nice saplings by Geordie Parker out in your paddocks there now.
We've got some there by the centre of Trooper Bitch, who won a £5,000 competition at Monmore and also won the Spring Cup at Crayford with 540. She has 3 dogs and 3 bitches there by Parker, and very nice pups. You know, there's a black dog in question, which is one of my favourites. Beautiful greyhound, lovely temperament, and as keen as mustard, so I've got high hopes for him.
You've also got some real youngsters in the kennel as well. Tell us about those.
I've got a 6-week litter there by Ballymac and Maeve, and a bitch called Little Assassin, which is a little sister to Dotton Hitman and Gannon Whiskey that I've just said. Lovely little puppies there, and nice and friendly, and as I say, they're due the first vaccinations in a couple of weeks' time. But as I say, I just thought with the Whiskey Assassin dogs, out with magical guests like Dotton Hitman and Gannon Whiskey, although they're terrifically fast greyhounds, I just thought they lacked a little bit of boot to the bend. And with Ballymac Maeve, he being a Roanoke dog, it gives that little lift to the corner, and I think them little pups out there, if they're all right, it could be something a little extra special because the mother was fast.
Breeding is one aspect of Fenwick's business. The other is running a busy racing kennel, supplying dogs to Newcastle on a graded basis, for sending out runners on the open race circuit. Jimmy gives us a couple of potential stars to look out for.
I have a dog there, April 07, called Mario Gomez, qualified at Newcastle at the minute, and I think he could turn out to be a real nice greyhound. And just recently come in the kennel, I've got a couple of dogs from Carl Roberts, and he has a dog called Druppy's Belletti, which is Druppy's Maldini, and Druppy Seville, which makes him a half brother to Bubbly Totty. He's come to the kennel, got very high hopes for him. And we'll have another dog which I took a real shine to, and he's called Druppy's Alistair. He's out of Druppy's Vieri, out of Druppy's Jackie. He's a lovely 36 kilo dog. He's only in October 07, but I've been told that he could be the real deal.
So things looking on the up and up here.
Things are looking on the up and up, yeah, definitely. As I say, I've got a good group of owners. As I say, they're always well supporters, look after us, and I've got a good team behind us. I've got a good wife who really is my mainstay. Really, she was a trainer in her own right before we obviously got married, and Melanie really needs to take a lot of credit, not just myself. I say she does a hell of a lot with the dogs as well as I do as well, but I say Melanie's always in the background keeping me right.
Mr. and Mrs. Fenwick make a great team. Melanie here proving the adage that behind a very successful man is a great woman.